Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, what are we doing around the farm? Well, y'all missed... Hey, trying to do a video. Keep it quiet. Alright, I started this morning right after the sun came up, and you can't hardly see, but right out there, I made it where I can, I've had some chickens, a rooster, and some hens. I'm going to start hatching some eggs, because with everything going on in this world, a lot of people have been wanting farm fresh eggs and some chicks. So we're going to be hatching eggs. I'll probably start putting some in the incubator probably in about a week. And we'll keep on hatching them out and probably till the fall. So we got that going on. But also, it's finally warmed up. The sun's popping out. I'm going to start planting some tomato plants outside. So last night was our, should have been our Easter spell. Should have been. So hopefully it is. So I'm going to get the tiller fired up and try to get Kim to help. Hey Kim, you ready to plant some tomato plants? Hello? Hello? Where you at? I'm just kidding. Kim left the other day. She went over to her mom's because this weekend she knew I had a lot of stuff planned to do around the farm and she didn't want to work. So I'm just kidding. She went over to see her mom. So I'm here by myself for the weekend, so we're just gonna, I worked all day yesterday outside doing the coop, so today we're doing tomato plants. So I'm gonna try to get a lot done, even though I don't have no help. But you know what, it's all right. I got Foxy. That's all I need. All a man needs is a good dog. So she's halfway good. So let's get started and let's get that tiller fired up, because y'all remember, this is going to be our green garden here, greens. We're going to do lettuce in here. I've got a bunch of lettuce going to go in here. Seriously, video going on. Zip it. Lettuce, broccoli, kale, cauliflower maybe. I got a lot with a little bit of space. So tomatoes are going around the house and the front. So let's get started and get some of them out today. So I just got all that tilled up. Reason I did that, make y'all dizzy with the camera here. Reason why I did that area there, actually our garden stopped about right here last year. We had some chickens over in this corner here, and they're out there now. So we got all this area, so I just went ahead and extended the garden another about 8 foot is probably what it gave us this year. So I went ahead and tilled that up with the front tine tiller, because I did it all with the tractor, but right in that area there, when you turn the tractor around the tiller, it's kind of hard to get it tilled in pretty decent. So that's why I went ahead and did that. Everything else I'm gonna plant, I'll just break up the soil, just run the tiller over the soil once, and not to till this whole place back up. So that is why I did it that way. And finally got the tiller running pretty good yesterday. Just put a new carburetor on it. The tiller's about 20 years old. Like from previous videos, I'm all about trying to save money when I can. That's why I don't have a. We've got a tractor. It's down. It's going to cost too much to fix. So that's why I just rented one, because it was more feasible for us to rent it and pay the little fee than making the purchase of a tractor with a tiller attachment. But let's go inside and get them tomato plants. They're all the same. They're all beefsteak tomato plants. So I'm just going to put a few out today, see how many we got. I may have to make some more cages for them, and I'm going to wrap them too. And when I say wrap them, I'm going to wrap them with some cellophane plastic. Wrap the cages, and you'll see how we do that. So hold on one second. And y'all see all the time on the internet and Facebook all these farmhouses and all the farmhouse idea. Y'all want to see what a real farmhouse looks like? Look at all them plants. There's more plants in there. Why do we do that? Because we don't have a greenhouse just yet. We will hopefully in the fall or winter time be able to do a greenhouse. And so everything, I've been using the table as my table to plant stuff, start seeds, and got some kale over there. There's some of our grow lights. So our house this year has just turned into a greenhouse, which I'm so thankful for my wife, because she don't mind it. Let's door open, the chicken's trying to come in. So it's really going to be a farmhouse. It's going to be a barn house here in a little bit. So here's my tomato plants. Let's get them outside. And yes, I am the type of person that runs the string, because if I don't run the string, especially down here planting, I get confused on where I'm at, and the rows will look like that. So that's why I try to keep it straight. That's why I will run a string. Let me grab some of these out. There's one right there. We started these, I'll have to get you a date on that. It was probably, they're right at a month old. And that's how tall they are right there. And, so we're gonna get them in the ground today, and these have done awesome. This is the first time I have ordered from Baker Creek, and y'all, the price, the quality, everything I got from them, it was awesome. And so I'm gonna be ordering more stuff from them. But Baker Creek is where I got these, started them from seeds. And I ordered enough seeds to do 200 plants, because I've ordered seeds before from another company, not Baker Creek, another company, and hardly very many came up. So I ordered more from Baker Creek, thinking I'll only get about half of them. And y'all, I am very pleased with them. So this is what they look like. And I did a solo cup, and they got holes in the bottom, that way they could drain. And I transplanted these probably 2 weeks ago, I imagine, and they were just in the seed trays, and they was just getting way too big. So we're going to get a few of these in the ground. All right, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to dig a little hole. I'm going to pull it out of the cup. And you can see that root system on that thing. I mean, this is only 2 weeks going in there, and that's already a pretty good root system. This area right here has got a lot of grass in it still, because this was the area that we added this year. So we're going to be dealing with a little bit of grass situation over here this year. Right there's one. And I save all my cups, that way next year I can reuse them. and save some money. They're not that expensive, but still it is an expense, so that's why I keep them back for next year, because they will last. And on these, I have my cheater setting on right there on how far apart we're going to plant them. It's going to be right around 2 foot apart, and you can go a little bit farther, but we've got so many, I'm just going to do 2 foot apart on here. But our rows in between will probably be about 2.5 feet to 3 foot apart. Probably will do 3 that way, because they get pretty good size, and that way gives us enough room to walk down the middle of them. So we're just going to do 2 foot here, or maybe a hair over. And with them being in the cup, the root system a little bit bigger. So what I'll do is I'll take this spade and shovel, make a pretty big hole, turn it over. That way it's a lot easier to plant. You can see that root system there. Good root system. All right, right there, 17 tomato plants that we planted. Okay, now we're gonna put the cages on them, and there's been three good things that happened in my life. The best thing that ever happened is when I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Second best day of my life is when I married my beautiful wife. And the third best thing that's happened in my life is these tomato cages. Best thing, or it's the third best thing that's happened in my life. So let's get these put on, and I'll show you how I put them on, and then we'll get them wrapped. Okay, all I'm gonna do is just set it right over. Just put that tomato plant right in the center. I'll take my stake. and just weaving it in the cage, in the wire. That way I don't have to wire it. And then pushing it in the ground. I'm going to hammer it a little bit to get it go in there, make it secure. That's all there is to it. Now, here, especially in Oklahoma, as y'all can tell in this video, there's been wind. And I set my plants out, because I've got these tomato plants, and I have some pepper plants that I set out the other day. And I was sleeping during the day since I work nights. Well, I got up before I went to work, check on everything, and the wind was just so bad that it kind of hurt. We may have lost a few pepper plants because of the wind. So, with these plants just being transplanted, and we're going to wrap them that way that wind's not a factor. And all it is just some cellophane wrap. Wife got this for me at Home Depot, and it wasn't very much, because if it was, she wouldn't have bought it. So what I'm going to do is just wrap the bottom of this, that way that plant's in there so that wind don't get a hold of it and tear that plant and break it off or anything. And this will just secure it from it, and it ain't gonna help much with heat, but it will pretend to be like a little greenhouse too. So not much, but it does have that little bit of perk to it. So it ain't the prettiest thing to do, but it'll keep some of that wind off there. And this won't stay on very long. That plant, especially being in the ground now, and I looked at the weather and it's supposed to have some really warmer days. So with that being said, these plants should sprout out pretty good and start growing. So when they start getting decent age in them limbs and their leaves start coming through the cage, that way it helps support. We're going to take that plastic off and do away with it. But doing it that way, it helps save our plants, because you put all the time and money in it, and starting them from seeds is really, it's a good way to go if you got the room and the time to do it. But there is still a lot of time in it, so you don't want to lose a plant. So that's why we're just taking an extra step here to prevent that. So some of y'all may want to try it. Some of you may just laugh at it and say it's the dumbest thing ever, but it's the way we're doing it. So hopefully it's helped some of y'all out. I'm going to keep on putting these cages on. I hope I got enough cages right now. That's another problem I'm running into this year, is I don't have enough cages for all my tomato plants. I've got the wind's starting to pick up now. I've got all the wire to make them. It's just finding the time to do it. So I'm going to shut up and start working and getting these done before the wind blows them over. So they're all wrapped. I have some of the old style tomato cages that I used to use. It's the cheap ones you buy at the store, and they just don't last. I've got a few that I've picked up, but anymore I hate them because they're just, one reason, these ain't very tall, so I'll probably end up having to do something else with them. But I don't have any other ones made yet, and don't have time right now to make the other ones out of the field fence. But I was going to show you another reason why I don't like these. And you can see all them, they got wrapped. But you get down here, and I just wrapped one just to show y'all what happens. See, there's not nothing to wrap it around. You only have that bottom one, that one right there, top one, another one that goes around it. So there's nothing to hold it. So all it does is it goes in between. You could get some bigger wrap, and it could work a little bit better, but the problem with that is most of the stuff out here in the garden I do by myself, and it's too hard to deal with anything bigger. So with that little handheld one, it's worked out great with wrapping these. So we got all them done. We still have about 100 more to do, so I gotta make some more cages tomorrow and get them in the ground. So that's the first thing in this garden here that we've got planted. So we still got a lot of room to plant more stuff, and across the drive we got the garden there, and potatoes, we got a few coming up there. So we'll start going around the garden once we get more growing, and just showing y'all what's going on and how it's doing throughout the growing season. So I sure do appreciate y'all subscribing, appreciate y'all watching and being patient with me on getting more videos out. Y'all been the best, and a bunch of encouraging words too. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, click the little bell to get notifications, because more videos are coming, I guarantee it. And God bless.